Alright, hello, it's Demon coming back for more Mass Effect 2, or Mass Effect 1, crap, said 2. But the only reason I'm taking 2 is because I'm not too sure what I'm going to be doing with this episode. This is either going to be episode 2, or this is going with the first episode, and they're just going to be one and the same. Mainly because I haven't officially decided what I'm going to do with it. The way I have it planned out in my mind is I might make episode 1 maybe just a short introduction, but if the episode isn't that long, I'll probably just splice these two together and just say this is the first Eden Prime mission. Because what I want to do is, in my mind, what I want to do is record, complete a mission, do it until I can stop, basically stop the game's recording there, save it, restart the recording, and keep going. Basically, we'll go from mission to mission. When a mission ends, that's where I'll stop. We'll go back into it. We'll talk with everybody inside the ship, stuff like that. Most people have an understanding of what I'm talking about, and then we'll continue on. So basically, it'll be stop, go, stop, go. When we reach the Citadel, I'm probably going to make a lot of the things that I usually do all in one on there. So hopefully it goes well. I mean, as far as I can see it, this is going to be a fun game to record. The only thing I'm going to have trouble with is I have noticed that it's hard to get the game to start up to record, so hopefully I can figure out, just keep doing it and it works out correctly. Every time I played this game from like the first start, it's like you guys can probably see it from that perspective where one of our guys get killed. I was always curious as to if, like, I think Dragon Age 2, BioWare made, so it's like, I always thought maybe this was a way to save this guy, like if you, because the class that I currently am rolling off of is, where am I at? Soldier. In the game, there's different class levels that you can play as. Mine is just, I picked Soldier for mine just because this time around I figured I wouldn't run as a biotic. Because that's usually what I run for, is because I like having access to a lot of the powers, but this time around I said I'd rather have access to all the guns, so I decided to run this. So what we're going to do is, you guys can sit there and see, is points wise I have 0. We'll get back into the game here shortly. I just want to sit there and show that usually how I divvy up the points is you need a lot of decryption in this game. Electronics are important as well. What I end up doing is, if I have a character that I know I'm going to be keeping, like in this series, you're going to see me keep Alenko alive instead of keeping Ashley alive. Yeah, spoiler alert. As I said, most people already kind of have an idea about this game. They've already seen gameplay for it. It's been out for too long. Whatever I'm saying is not a spoiler. Saying I'm giving out spoilers for a game this old is crazy. Overall, I'm just trying to enjoy the game for what it is. And I want to just post some content on it, because it gives me an excuse to come back and start playing it. I've been wanting to record stuff for this for a while. Again, I'll try not to spoil too much. That's why I kind of keep my mouth shut on certain points. But again, I thought always from this game's perspective it'd run like kind of like Dragon Age 2, because I know in that game you can you have a choice between keeping your sister alive or keeping your brother alive. I always made the assumption, I didn't, and it's all based off your class. So I was wondering when I went back to this game if that was a thing, because I didn't really watch too much YouTube at the time, and I found out that no, it doesn't. Because I played this game rather late in compared to the other games.
Ripped right through his shields. We're out of chance.
Oh yeah, I gotta give Alenko better armor.
We'll see that he receives a proper service once the mission is complete. But I need you to stay focused.
Aye, aye, man.
I'm also surprised at how fast they kill off a character. Like, you just started the game out, you just met who these guys were, and he's gone. Alright, so things I gotta do, I gotta give you a crappier gun. You can have that. Let's see, how the heck do I get to shotguns? I'm pretty sure you are trained in using these. Does it say if he's trained? No, it's not going to. I'll have to double check. I forget what all his guns he can use. I know it's pistol. Okay, so he's untrained on all firearms except for handguns. Great, that makes him useful. I always forget that. Alright, let's go back to shotguns. We'll give him some of the weaker ones. I always still give the guys better guns because in my mind I go, okay, so even though you may not be as good with it, I'd rather you have access to it just so if I ever need you to use a different gun, you have access to it. Let's go and give you that. As you can clearly see, I have a lot of good stuff on these. Also, let's see, what armor was I running with you? Did I give you this one? Yeah, because I didn't like the Phoenix armor. This one's got more shields, but I kind of like the difference in damage and tech points. Also, whenever I play this game, I usually don't focus too much on really the statistics they give you for most of the equipment, because most of it pretty much runs the same way. Also, since there's no sprint ability, you guys are going to be probably watching me run around a lot. But we're going to keep sitting there getting into the firefights. It's usually the base firefight in the beginning. They want you just to have an idea about what you're playing. My standpoint, they're not that hard to kill. So why is Alenka so injured?
Burned out buildings here, Shepard. A lot of bodies. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, his health's blacked out. I wonder why. That's glitchy. I've never seen that before. Because I don't remember seeing it. Also, my guns are a little overpowered since I have a lot of the better weapons from late game. So, you guys really won't be seeing a brand new campaign. You're just going to see me basically just keep posting stuff from what I was already doing. Which, I think some people would like to see the new campaign. Oh, okay, that was weird. I think some people would like to see it, but in my perspective, I'm not too concerned with it. I don't want to have to do everything again. For one, and two, I'd have to play the campaign twice, and I'd still have my equipment. Also, this was probably one of the most messed up scenes I've ever seen when I first played this. I just went, what the hell? And he's gone. And this game has not aged that well either. That's the other sad thing for it. And there's Ashley. We all say hello to her. I don't know, maybe I will keep her alive. I'll have to make a decision on that later on.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams of the 212. You the one in charge here, ma'am?
Nope.
Are you wounded, Williams?
A few scrapes and burns, nothing serious. The others weren't so lucky. Oh man. We were patrolling the perimeter when the attack hit. We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life ever since.
Any idea what kind of enemy we're facing?
I think they're geth.
The geth haven't been seen outside the Veil in nearly 200 years. Why are they here now?
They must have come for the beacon. The dig site is close, just over that rise. It might still be there.
We could use your help, Williams.
Aye, aye, ma'am. It's time for payback.
Alright, so basically what happened is, if you guys remember, is if you go back to episode 1 when you sit there and see the attack going on, and you see a platoon of human soldiers getting attacked, she's one of the people you actually can see in the video. She just happens to survive it. So if we sit there and go and start talking, asking her a lot of the questions, you get a better idea. Pretty much what's going on Eden Prime, why you ask Geth, Beacon before the attack, Nihilist.
What else do you know about the geth?
Just what I remember from history class back in school. They're synthetics, non-organic life forms with limited AI programming, created by the Quarians a few centuries ago. They were supposed to be a source of cheap labor, but ended up turning on the Quarians and drove them into exile. Well, after that, they just kind of disappeared behind the Perseus Veil. Nobody's really heard much from them since.
Yeah, but overall, I do find the fact that they did bring the Geth into this. It's weird when you play the later games as well, because like Mass Effect 2, you don't really see too much Geth. Mass Effect 3, you get Geth, but you learn so much more about them that makes it a lot more intriguing. Because I didn't know how they were going to build on these guys too much, but at least in the first series, they just pretty much kill.
Tell me everything you know about the beacon.
They were doing some digging out here to extend the monorail and expand the colony. A few weeks ago, they unearthed some Prothean ruins, and the beacon. Suddenly, every scientific expert in the colony was interested. That's when they brought us in to secure the site. I don't know much about the beacon itself, but I heard one of the researchers say this could be the biggest scientific discovery of the century.
Yeah.
What happened to the researchers at the dig site?
I don't know. They set up camp near the beacon. The 232 was with them. Maybe their unit fared better than mine.
Describe what happened leading up to the attack.
We were sent out a couple of nights ago from the main colony to secure the area. Seemed like a routine patrol, until the geth hit us. We never knew they were coming.
Have you seen a Turian Spectre around here?
There aren't any Turians on Eden Prime. None that I've ever met. Not sure I'd be able to tell if one was a Spectre anyway.
If you saw this guy, you'd know. Carries enough firepower to wipe out a whole platoon. Luckily, he's on our side.
Sorry. Like I said, no Turians.
Move out!
Yeah, I forgot about that. So, another issue with playing this game is the fact that if you look at my equipment, I have a lot of stored up weapons. That's the only bad thing with this game. The only thing I didn't really enjoy was, there is a bit of an inventory into it. I do like it to an extent. My only problem I always had with it was, at some point, it's like playing most games. You accumulate so much crap in here that you don't think about deleting it until you get something you may or may not want, and then you gotta delete it. So, if there's one thing that I will say is when you guys play the early game for this, if you ever get interested to, is you get a lot of crappy weapons at first, but as time goes on and you play the game even further, you actually get access to a lot of different weapons. Like the ones you guys will see here are a lot of the early ones I got unlocked. Overall, I'm going to have to go through here and just basically whittle down what I have, just so I can get rid of it. But it's really not that bad. I've dealt with worse. If you guys ever play Fallout 76, you understand what I'm talking about. But I think they recently fixed everything for that, because that was a big problem for a while. Even for me and my friends, we ran out of crap to use. Alright, so as I said before, usually there's a set group of stuff you usually keep for your characters that you keep unlocking. I usually like dumping points randomly into anything. This game doesn't really run the same as like Mass Effect 3 or even Mass Effect 2 does for their points. You get access to a lot of different skill sets, and it just depends on what you think that character is going to be running the most. Like for me, I do give them a bit in the snipers, but usually what I make the assumption with Ashley, since she's a soldier, is that she's using a lot more assault rifle. I also make the assumption she's going to be in a lot of the firefights for us, so giving her a lot of the health, combat armor, and such boosts is really useful, at least for her. That way you have somebody who can tank and take hits. If you get some of the other characters later on, it also helps. So let's just dump the rest there, and we're all set. The other thing is I got to go back through and then give her better weaponry. I don't remember if my character needs the better armor. No, she already has that. Okay, good. So we're gonna go ahead and give her the heavy armor. That way she's tanked up a little bit better. We're gonna go ahead and give her the better firearms. We'll give her this. Let's see. Stiletto seems like a better pistol. Give her the... Ooh, we'll hold on to that. I'll give that to another character. And then we'll give her a really good assault rifle. That way she's able to fight. I usually keep the helmets on because you guys probably seen in the equipment there is a way to toggle helmets. I usually just keep it on for the first mission because, I don't know, I just feel like the first mission needs the helmets. But later on I just remove them and never put them back on. Because I feel like it takes away from what the character's doing. But as I was saying, so we're pretty much, you guys tell, Eden Prime, still dealing with a lot of stuff. We're going to sit there and see what else goes on in this. The gameplay for this also isn't nearly as like action-packed as the later games are. They try to make them a little bit more action-packed, like smoother cutscenes, smoother gameplay. Since this game's so much older, they kind of just turned it into like, the closest thing I can think of is like if you play, what do you call it, like a,
This is the dig site. The beacon
like
was
an
right
MMO.
here. It must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after we check out the research camp.
You think anyone got out of here alive?
If they were lucky. Maybe hiding up in the camp. It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
Alright.
Plan, Shepard. There's a small spaceport.
Also, if you ever happen to do this, it's like, if you ever find these like little arsenal things, they do give you access to a lot of these. Why did I only reduce these Omnigel? I feel like I should have more room. Do I not? Should tell me. Where is inventory? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Do I have the... Good, I do have the grenade put on there. Go ahead and reduce this. I feel like I should have more space in here. I didn't think I had that much. It doesn't matter either way. I pretty much have everybody's weapons set up the way I need them to be. I'll just get rid of a lot of these crappy ones. Because I also noticed that whenever I would play the game originally, there's a lot of weapons you can get, and there's some actually that are really good. But usually you reach a point where you, like, if you have a lot of tier 1 guns early on, you eventually either sell them or you switch them all to Omnigel. Level 2, same way. Eventually you reach to where you get good weapons like I got that give you a lot more accessible weaponry.
Keep your guard up.
Here we are, introduced to what the geth do.
Oh god, they're still alive.
What did the geth do to them?
Alright. Also, I think this is like the most difficult geth to kill this early on. Because for whatever reason, I don't know if it's a glitch or they designed it this way, but this one right there, the first one, is the most difficult to kill. For whatever reason, they designed it in a way where no matter how many rounds you put into it, it won't die. And if you go to play Mass Effect on console, I think it's actually a lot more difficult to kill that guy even further. You've reached the 150 limit in your arm. You can now salvage or sell 14 items. Okay, I gotta sell for another 14. That's great. Aww. Got armor in here. So I gotta sell at least another 14 items. Are you kidding me? How many guns do I have? Okay, I'll just get rid of all my assault rifles then. No, that one will keep. That's a good one. I actually need a better gun than that. Not really. So, we're going to keep the higher damage ones because I like them more. We'll get rid of a lot of these. I'll get rid of a lot of these Lancers. I don't think I'm going to be using too many of them. I just got to clear out this inventory. I'm probably not going to be editing too much of this. The most I'll probably edit is like the one cutscene that I say I want to cut out. Besides that, I don't know if there's really much else to cut out of the game overall. I mean, a lot of this I think a lot of people are going to want to see. I know watching me go through my inventory and delete stuff is kind of stupid, but if I was streaming this, it'd be running the exact same way. I have to go through this and get rid of crap. My only problem is I really can't stream the game all that much like I want to. I probably could get it on my console to work. I don't trust my PC too much since it's running off an extender, and whenever I use that extender in the past, unless it's like a really low game, it doesn't seem to want to care for it. Alright, so okay, that should have cleared some of this out. Hopefully maybe I can pick up just a few weapons now. Oh wait, almost forgot. Okay, you're customized. I need to get the stuff on this too. So let's see, max height. Well, I actually like that. That's a nice little bonus. It doesn't matter with shotguns. Just go high damage on these weapons. You don't even worry about what's going on. Oh wow, that's what I gotta get rid of. Inferno rounds. Let's just upgrade all our pistols and stuff. I'll take the accuracy. That's a nice one. Especially for the pistol, it's really good. Let's see. Let's go for sledgehammer rounds. That'll be nice. Sniper rifle. Damage and weapon stability. Very nice to get. And that gives us max accuracy. Get for more sledgehammer rounds, and I think that's pretty much it. I got everything else I kind of wanted set up. Alright, that works. Alright. Now, let's see. Well, that just gives me Omni Gel. Well, that was a bad thing to test on.
That door, it's closed. Security locks engaged.
Also, another thing that I found was really weird that took me a while to get used to in this was, compared to Xbox, it doesn't run the same way for opening doors.
Hurry! Close the door before they come back.
Don't worry. We'll protect you.
Thank you. I think we'll be okay now. It looks like everyone's gone.
You're Dr. Warren, the one in charge of the excavation. Do you know what happened to the beacon?
It was moved to the spaceport this morning. Manuel and I stayed behind to help pack up the camp. When the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for us to hide. They gave their lives to save us.
No one is saved. The age of humanity is ended. Soon, only ruin and corpses will remain.
Yeah, not too far off, my friend. Also, just to give a little bit of a reference there, when you sit there and hear her say the Maker, if you ever play Dragon Age 1 or any of the Dragon Age games in the series, they always make reference to a Maker. So I was always curious as to, is this game just using that as a reference, or was that supposed to continue on from Dragon Age where everything works? I was always wondering about that, but turns out it doesn't seem like it does.
What else can you tell me about the attack?
It all happened so fast. 1 second we were gathering up our equipment. The next we were hiding in the shed while the geth swarmed over the camp.
Agents of the destroyers, bringers of darkness, heralds of our extinction.
We could hear the battle outside. Gunfire, screams. I thought it would never end. Then everything went quiet. We just sat there, too afraid to move, until you came along.
Did you notice a Turian in the area?
I saw him, the Prophet, leader of the enemy. He was here before the attack.
That's impossible. Nihilus was with us in the Normandy before the attack. He couldn't have been here.
I'm sorry. Manuel's still a bit unsettled. We haven't seen your Turian. We've been hiding in here since the attack.
Can you tell me anything about the beacon?
It's some type of data module from a galaxy-wide communications network. Remarkably well preserved. It could be the greatest scientific discovery of our lifetime. Miraculous new technologies, groundbreaking medical advances. Who knows what secrets are locked inside?
We have unearthed the heart of evil, awakened the beast, unleashed the darkness.
Oh, it's so
Manuel,
hard not to hit the
please,
edge.
This isn't the time.
What's wrong with your assistant?
Manuel has a brilliant mind, but he's always been a bit unstable. Genius and madness are two sides of the same coin.
Is it madness to see the future? To see the destruction rushing towards us? To understand there is no escape? No hope? No. I am not mad. I'm the only sane one left.
I gave him an extra dose of his meds after the attack.
Williams, take us to the spaceport.
You can't stop it. Nobody can stop it. Night is falling. The darkness of eternity.
Hush, Manuel. Go lie down. You'll feel better once the medication kicks in.
Alright, let's do it. Alright, so continue on. Now, the reference he gives to is he thinks he's seen an enemy, so he actually, once you guys see a certain point, should be coming up. And there you go.
Saren. Nihilus. This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I wasn't expecting to find the geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Alright, so basically, if you guys remember the system, he says he's seen pretty much somebody being the leader. And hi. I was always curious because I always noticed with grenades in this game you could theoretically throw them pretty far, so I always tried every time at the beginning I would try to throw a grenade on that ship and see if I could hit it. Turns out you can. I thought it'd be neat if you could, but going back to the assistant, he sits there and says he made mention of one of them being a leader. Now, he might have confused us talking about Nihilus compared to that other Turian that you see Nihilus talking to, which is the name Saren. So he actually isn't as crazy as it seems. He's actually pretty smart, since he actually picked up on the fact that he noticed that there was an enemy there, and it just so happened he confused it with the guy we're looking for.
Commander.
And here's the laggiest part if you ever play it on console.
Something's moving over behind those crates.
Wait! Don't shoot! I'm one of you! I'm human!
Sneaking up on us like that nearly got you killed.
I am sorry, I was hiding from those creatures. My name's Pal. I saw what happened to that Turian. The other one shot him.
I need to know how Nihilus died.
The other one got here first. He was waiting when your friend showed up. He called him Saren. I think they knew each other. Your friend seemed to relax. He let his guard down. And Saren killed him. Shot him right in the back. I'm just lucky he didn't see me behind the crates.
Where'd Saren go after he killed Nihilus?
He jumped on the cargo train and headed over to the other platform. Probably going after the beacon. I knew that beacon was trouble. Everything's gone to hell since we found it. First that damn mothership showed up, then the attack. They killed everyone. Everyone. If I had been behind the crates, I'd be dead too.
How come you're the only one who survived? Why didn't anyone else try to hide behind the crates?
They never had a chance. I was already behind the crates when the attack started.
Wait a minute. You were hiding behind the crates before the attack?
Sometimes I need a nap to get through my shift. I sneak off behind the crates to grab 40 winks where the supervisor can't find me.
You survived because you're lazy?
I always found it funny that guy sits there and they have him bring out the fact that he's that lazy, he goes and takes a nap. I'm like, yeah, I got people at work that I know about with
If he hadn't
that.
snuck off for that nap, he'd probably be dead just like all the others.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really want to think about it.
How you ain't
Tell
gonna
me
take a
about the
nap?
geth attack.
It was quick. 1 minute the ship was descending, the next, those geth were swarming over the platform. Thousands of them. They must have been inside that mothership. They shot anything that moved. It was a massacre.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the beacon?
They brought it here this morning. We loaded it up onto the train and shipped it to the other platform. Hard to believe that was only a few hours ago. Feels like a whole other life.
Tell me about this mothership you saw.
I've never seen anything like it before. It was huge. Landed over near that platform. The whole place got dark as it came down. And it was making this noise, this sound that bored right into your brain. That's what woke me up. The attack came a few minutes later.
We need to find that beacon before it's too late.
Take the cargo train. That's where the other Turian went. I can't stay here. I need to get away from all this.
Now the only reason I make references is like the laggiest part of the game is if you ever play that on console and that guy quits talking, for whatever reason the game just freezes. Never figured out why, always did it, infuriated me like crazy, but looks like PC they figured out whatever coding needed to get replaced, because I don't know if it's because the game's trying to save and then try to load in the next section or what, but it just seemed like the Xbox 360 never could handle it. I don't think I played this on Xbox One if I remember right, so I don't remember if that worked out either. But basically from what you guys could tell is that guy actually does have pretty good information. He tells us Saren murders Nihilus. We kind of got the idea from the cutscene that was going to happen, but overall it just kind of gives you an idea that yeah, that you don't trust the guy. And I know they actually made I think some comic books for this game a long time ago, or a while back, whenever the game first was coming out, and it kind of explains Saren a little bit, gives you kind of a backstory. I've actually went out of my way to go read them because I was interested with it, but it actually provides a lot of information on why he is doing what he's doing. Also, if I keep hitting space a lot, I do apologize. I keep thinking space, because it might be different in Mass Effect 2, where space helps you run. So let's go to the next area. This will be fun. Again, I'm going to try not to hit space to skip cutscenes. That's the one thing I don't want to do.
Set the charges. Destroy the entire colony. Leave no evidence that we were here.
So I don't think he talks anymore in this scene, but the only thing I haven't figured out yet is why the beacon in this setting, why he's able to use it like that so easily. Because the game builds on the story later, and I will bring it back up if I remember to. Also, what time is it? It's only 9:14. I'm pretty much planning to play this for most of the day. I'm actually off
Demolition
today.
charges. The geth must have planted them.
Hurry! We need to find them all and shut them down!
Also, I never did really like the fact that it didn't seem like they put too much effort into just trying to show your character just fusing bombs. It just like you just take a knee and then you just do it. I wish they would have added like a little bit of an animation or just something. Alright. I actually will be happy once I can play Mass Effect 2 and 3 because I go back to 1080p. Even in 720p, this game actually still looks pretty good. I mean, it ain't great, but it ain't bad either. But I think for Mass Effect 2 and 3, if I remember right, somebody actually went out of their way to go and mod the game pretty heavily to where they improved the graphics as best they could. Because that was a big complaint a lot of people had, was they wanted better detail textures. So I've always been curious if BioWare and EA are going to try to re-release these games into the future. Because a lot of the companies have been doing that. Like if you guys go see, like Resident Evil, Capcom's been remaking a lot of their games. Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1 was theoretically already remade, so all they did was just up the graphics settings a little bit more and put better lighting. Resident Evil 2 I know comes out in January, so I don't know when this game's going to start getting posted, but once Mass Effect 1 is done, I'm probably going to see how well Resident Evil 2 records on my PC. If it records well, then I'm probably going to play it, record it, and post it after Mass Effect 1. Then I'll probably go into playing another round of EU4 probably, depending on what I'm up to at the time. And then more than likely after that, I'm going to try to get into playing Mass Effect 2, because I kind of want to go through all the series for this, because I really want to record it and post it online, because I haven't had much drive to play this game, as I said in the past. I just lost interest in playing because I just and I'll say that for recording. It gives you more meaning to play.
Oh God.
Jesus.
It's like someone dropped a bomb.
I don't think I remember ever seeing this part before.
That must be where the geth ship landed.
No, I don't think I remember seeing this bit. It's new to me. I've never had a reason to walk up to that. I always go straight here. So, as you guys seen, we saw Sarah and he went up to this, and magically the beacon activated. So now let's do it. See what happens when we go up to it.
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
This is
Request
amazing.
immediate
Actual working Prothean technology. Unbelievable.
It wasn't doing anything like that when they dug it up.
Something must have activated it.
Roger, Normandy. Standing by.
Shepard!
No, don't touch her. It's too dangerous.
So I always said it seemed funny because when you see Saren activated, he didn't have it explode on him. But suddenly your character touches it and it explodes. I've always been curious as to if it's damaged, how did it not do that to Saren but only you? And then I don't think they ever really explained it. So it actually made it kind of weird.
We identified the ship that touched down on Eden Prime, the Normandy. A human alliance vessel. It was under the command of Captain Anderson. They managed to save the colony.
And the beacon.
One of the humans may have used it.
Somebody should make this into a meme for like Fallout 76 or something.
This human must be eliminated.
Yeah, thank God I'm off today. I can play this all day and get a lot of content out of this. So, what we'll do is,
Dr. Chakwas.
well,
I
once
think
this is
she's
all
waking
done.
up.
You had us worried there, Shepard. How are you feeling?
All right. So basically, I'll answer this dialogue more into a second. Is once this is done, I'm going to pretty much end the recording, and then we'll continue on for where it left off. Better, yeah, I'll probably just end up doing that.
Minor throbbing. Nothing serious. How long was I out?
About 15 hours. Something happened down there with the beacon, I think.
It's my fault. I must have triggered some kind of security field when I approached it. You had to push me out of the way.
You had no way to know what would happen.
Actually, we don't even know if that's what set it off. Unfortunately, we'll never get the chance to find out.
The beacon exploded. A system overload, maybe. And the blast knocked you cold. Williams and I had to carry you back here to the ship.
I appreciate it.
Physically, you're fine. But I detected some unusual brain activity. Abnormal beta waves. I also noticed an increase in your rapid eye movement. Signs typically associated with intense dreaming.
I saw... I'm not sure what I saw. Death, destruction... Nothing's really clear.
I better add this to my report. It may... Oh, Captain Anderson.
How's our XO holding up, Doctor?
Well, all the readings look normal. I'd say the commander's going to be fine.
Glad to hear it. Shepard, I need to speak with you. In private.
Aye, aye, Captain. I'll be in the mess if you need me.
Sounds like that beacon hit you pretty hard, Commander. Are you sure you're okay?
I don't like soldiers dying under my command.
Jenkins wasn't your fault. You did a good job, Shepard.
Did we leave Gunnery Chief Williams back on Eden Prime?
I figured we could use a soldier like her. She's been reassigned to the Normandy.
Williams is a good soldier. She deserves it.
Lieutenant Alenko agrees with you. That's why I added her to our crew.
Alright.
Intel dropped the ball, sir. We had no idea what we were walking into down there. That's why things went to hell.
The Geth haven't been outside the Veil in 2 centuries, Commander. Nobody could have predicted this.
Alright.
You said you needed to see me in private, Captain?
I won't lie to you, Shepard. Things look bad. Nihilus is dead. The beacon was destroyed and Geth are invading. The Council's going to want answers.
I didn't do anything wrong, Captain. Hopefully the Council can see that.
I'll stand behind you and your report, Shepard. You're a damned hero in my books. That's not why I'm here. It's Saren, that other Turian. Saren's a Spectre, one of the best. A living legend. But if he's working with the Geth, it means he's gone rogue. A rogue Spectre's trouble. Saren's dangerous, and he hates humans.
He didn't come to Eden Prime because he hates humans.
You're right. Saren has allied himself with the Geth. I don't know how. I don't know why. But it had something to do with that beacon. You were there just before that beacon self-destructed. Did you see anything? Any clue that might tell us what Saren was after?
The other thing I'm not too sure with this game is a lot of the answers you can get are kind of the same. Like it says I'm not sure and it says a vision. Both of them pretty much give you the same answer. I won't show it, but just take note of it.
I had some kind of vision.
A vision? A vision of what?
Actually, no, this is actually the one.
I saw synthetics. Geth, maybe. Slaughtering people. Butchering them.
We need to report this to the Council, Shepard.
What are we gonna tell them? I had a bad dream?
We don't know what information was stored in that beacon. Lost Prothean technology, blueprints for some ancient weapon of mass destruction, whatever it was. Saren took it. But I know Saren. I know his reputation is politics. He believes humans are a blight on the galaxy. This attack was an act of war. He has the secrets from the beacon. He has an army of geth at his command, and he won't stop until he's wiped humanity from the face of the galaxy.
I'll find some way to take him down.
It's not that easy. He's a Spectre. He can go anywhere, do almost anything. That's why we need the Council on our side.
We prove Saren's gone rogue and the Council will revoke his Spectre status.
I'll contact the Ambassador and see if he can get us an audience with the Council. He'll want to see us as soon as we reach the Citadel. We should be getting close. Head up to the bridge and tell Joker to bring us into dock.
Alright, so as we sit there and see, character passed out, some sort of thing happened when we looked at the beacon. It exploded, so basically they don't know what's wrong with it, so we'll find out later. Also, for the record, I'm probably going to go ahead and stop this here. I'll probably just talk for a few more minutes. So again, I've actually noticed there's a couple glitches with this game that I've noticed before. Luckily, we didn't end up seeing one of them. One of them is whenever we get to that beacon scene, it's hilarious. I actually had it to where my character was invisible, and it's more funny thinking it from that perspective, because if your character ain't there, you just suddenly see Alenko get thrown, but it's just like nothing's there. So it's just like his make-believe friend just comes out of nowhere and saves his life, and he doesn't know who it is. It made it seem really funny. I don't know. I thought it was great when it happened when I played it. So what will end up happening is I'm going to stop it here. I might splice this together with the previous episode. It just might be extended. But basically what we'll do is after this session's over is I'm going to start the Citadel missions. Citadel is basically we're going to run through, do a lot of the missions that are there. I'm not going to splice them up and put them in different things saying, oh, here's a 5-minute video, here's a 10-minute video. No, they're all going to be together. We'll stay in the Citadel and basically do the same missions that I always do when I play this game. Then when we're done, we'll continue on after that and see where else we can run off to. So, I'm going to go ahead and end this recording session here. You guys might see it like glitch out there for a second. Again, since I can't do anything with the full screen or windowless mode for full screen, you're going to see it go do that a lot because it takes my computer a second to load back in so I can stop recording. So I do apologize about that. There's nothing else I can really do with it. So again, if you guys have been enjoying the content, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and of course have a very wonderful day, and I will see you in the next episodes. Thank you.